Hi, good evening. This is Meredith Lego, and I'm doing a series of videos on Ascension science. A lot of the content that I'm bringing forward comes through channeling that I do with kind of non-human beings or extra-dimensional beings, and they've been providing me some learnings on the Ascension process that I am sharing with you. In this particular session that I did, in a lot of the content that I do is through like a Q&A format, essentially. I essentially asked a question about kind of what's in the best and highest good of humanity. But before that question was answered, there was a phrase that came out, and this was being provided by Ascended Master Hilarion. So he essentially said, put different things into your body. And I'm saying this not that it was being referenced specifically to me, but it's actually meant for the masses. And I would have assumed that meant food or something like that, so put different things into your body. But he said, feed your body with love, law of potentiality. I'm not sure what the last statement meant because I didn't inquire about it, because then essentially he got into addressing the question, which was, what does humanity have to know at this particular time? So the message is interesting. He says, cave to no one. Use the force that flows in you to lift up and pursue a calling of freedom, oneness. And then he says, oneness and being can be achieved in an atmosphere of oneness, which is kind of interesting. But again, he's saying, focus on freedom. Realize all beings as sovereign with choice and free will to learn what the soul needs. Appreciate and find gratitude in all things, even those you don't consider pleasant, for they show you a side of you that needs love, healing, and compassion. Now that's a kind of short message that he provided, but I think it's really powerful. So obviously the statement that, pursue a calling to freedom is really important. And the other thing that I think is really important right now, especially in our time in society, is that, oftentimes we get, there's different kind of, individuals in society who can get really ruffled when people don't necessarily agree or, follow what they believe in. But he's essentially saying that you have to realize that you elected to be in an environment that has complete polar opposites of energy so that you can learn through. That is the whole point of the game of Earth School, if you will. And so realize that you're a sovereign being, but also realize that you're surrounded by other sovereign beings and afford them the ability of having free will choices as well to learn, because that's how your soul learns, and therefore that's how consciousness learns. And ultimately, the goal of consciousness, as we will see, is to become more efficient in evolution, which is essentially achieved more through kind of a symbiotic relationship, but of love and compassion. But you have to get there over time, and you can't force anybody to understand that. You have to let everybody kind of learn that. And it's through that trial and error process that you truly integrate the learnings into the core of your being, and it gets integrated into your etheric blueprint and into your DNA, so that the next time there's sort of an evolutionary incarnation, that lesson is really embedded within you. So you come in knowing it. You kind of know how to operate this way. You don't have to relearn it as much. So, obviously there's a lot of really highly charged subjects that are going on right now in society. Abortion could be one of them. The idea of free will of choice versus, protecting a young life. Now there's also, I'm sure everybody watching this video has an opinion on it. Of course, I have an opinion on it as well. But essentially, he's saying, you know, things work in certain ways, but realize that a being, you know, has sovereign choice as well, and has, you know, needs that free will to learn what the soul needs to learn through. So that was, you know, how he answered that particular topic. Now, then I asked, you know, why are we in a holographic matrix, if you will? And he said, to learn. What does that tell you? It's really to rise up or ascend up, if you will, in a safe, controlled simulation. And that's kind of really all he offered on that topic. So just wanted to share that. Thought it was pretty interesting. And I hope you have a great rest of your evening. Thanks. Bye.